So about a week ago, the internet got riled up over a brand new video game console. Famous man Soulja Boy, who you probably might remember from that famous Crank That Soulja Boy song, announced on Twitter that he has started a tech company, and along with Soulja Boy branded watches and smartphones, he's also launching video game consoles. Two, in fact, a handheld game console and a regular game console dubbed Soulja Game. And he's legit, we can say that at least. Soulja Boy has always been known to be an actual real gamer, which definitely helps. Pre-orders are live, Soulja Boy fans are pre-ordering, his fans are excited. I don't know, I appreciate that. But a lot of people looked into it, and judging from the website, it looks like it's just a sketchy low-end ROM console. It's something you get on like AliExpress or the dollar store or something. And yep, turns out basically he's just reselling a cheap emulator console like it's his own. It's a ROM console sporting hundreds and hundreds of games, and he's promoting it this way. And you know, a lot of people rightfully guessing like, oh, he's totally gonna get sued, right? I don't know. I almost think like he's figuring out some sort of weird loophole to be able to get away with selling these, but I don't know. I ain't a lawyer. This console is still shipping out, so we went ahead and tracked down the exact model he's reselling. And this is it right here. It's the same console, and we got it for drastically less at like $90 compared to his $200 that he's selling it for on sale right now for $150. Buckle up, because this is going to be a little bit of a roast. If you're like a really casual game fan, this thing might sound amazing. It plays hundreds of games from all the classic consoles up to PS1 with everything in between like Sega consoles, NES, SNES, Game Boy, the list goes on. And I think the casual people, that's who Soulja Boy is really taking advantage of by charging an arm and a leg for this thing. Legalities and ethics aside, I really just wish this thing was better, because it's rough around the edges, big time. First and most importantly, the emulation is really bad. Every game looks to have a slight weird filter over it that you can really notice on the older games. And screen tearing, or for those of you that don't know, it's like kind of like seeing lines that essentially split the game apart slightly, are across so many damn games, and it's distracting. I've seen emulators that don't have screen tearing, and considering how much this thing is charging, it shouldn't have screen tearing. The box sports 1-to-1 input and Ultra HD 4K HDMI, but most of these games look crappier than they do on their original consoles, let alone just like a standard PC emulator you downloaded. Especially the PS1 games, they had some issues. It sucks it doesn't have N64 games, but the PS1 games had a lot of sound lag, where like you'd hit something and the game would make the sound 1 second later. It's really distracting and off-putting, as is a lot of the sound for older games too, where in some it sounds all garbled and fucked up, like just something went wrong. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you'll want to play these games and have them look and play and sound properly, this ain't it, Chief. You can play them easily on your computer or even just better emulation devices out there and not get ripped off for $200. Unless maybe you're just a diehard Soulja Boy fan and you want to support him. Then you do you. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I am glad there are a lot of games included. It makes the SNES Classic and the PS Classic look like they got nothing. Although it doesn't have Metal Gear Solid though, so I'm automatically docking 5 points. Moving on to the interface though, it's running Linux apparently, and the menus are really crude and simple. This thing looks like an old DVD bootleg menu. And it's kind of like browsing files on Windows, literally, because they're all files and they all still have their extensions. It's all kind of funny, actually. There's like a whole folder for PS1 games, but then there's only one game in there. The rest are on an SD card option, which has a bunch more games loaded on that to scroll through. And the choices they use for the game thumbnails are hilarious. This is clearly some random Chinese console. Case in point, Batman NES has an Arkham Origins logo. Oh, and also there are a ton of really weird bootleg games on this thing. Like, for some reason they decided to include the side-scrolling Charmeleon adventure game called Pokemon 2000 that was like an actual movie tie-in that nobody wanted. There's like a weird Pikachu drummer rhythm game and a bunch of weird Angry Birds games that aren't actually real Angry Birds at all. They actually made me appreciate the real Angry Birds more. The controller at least has the PlayStation Classic beat because it has analog sticks at least. It's also got buttons that don't do much, but you hold start and select to get back to the menus. The controller otherwise feels extremely lightweight, like almost empty, and it just all feels cheap, and it isn't even the one advertised on the box either. It's like a bootleg Mad Catz controller, which is already a borderline bootleg controller. On the bright side, it does come with two, which I really appreciate in the package, and just everything else it comes with. It gives you power, HDMI, and regular AV cables, which is nice. But in short, I don't know, it's basically just a fucking Raspberry Pi, dude. I don't know. I appreciate Soulja Boy's entrepreneurship, I really do, but is this a meme? Is this a meme? How does he sell this? The idea is great, the legality of it is sketchy, whatever, but most importantly, I actually think he can do better than this. I really can. Instead of reselling garbage for way too much money, he could use his resources to make an actually awesome emulator console. Maybe this is a test for that? Maybe this is a get-rich-quick scheme? I don't know. Ultimately, if you think about it, by us making this video, he wins. We just gave this thing more publicity. I know he doesn't need our help, but I mean, yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, man. I'm tired. This was a before you buy. You know how these work. I give you some pros, some cons, some personal opinion. We've been messing with this thing. We want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Did you pre-order one? Do you love Soulja Boy? Do you have another device like this that maybe you bought, or maybe it fell off the back of a truck? I don't know. Let's talk about anything Soulja game, Soulja Boy, and video game consoles and emulation down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something, clicking the like button helps us out. We really appreciate it. And if you're new, you should consider subscribing because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.